Hey YouTube family, did you miss me? Oh my gosh, it's been like so long. I went and looked at my profile and I think the last video I posted was 5 years ago. It is 2026. The last video I posted was 2021. It was a very big hiatus, but we're back. So before I start back content, I just wanted to just give a quick timeline of everything that has happened. Self-reflect, definitely this will help with me self-reflecting, just viewing everything that has, you know, happened in this big old gap, I would say, but also to just share with you guys like what has changed since my prior time on YouTube. Let's just dive into it. So I began making videos in August 2019. I had just came back from a trip in Europe. I spent basically almost the whole summer in Europe. I was just very inspired and I just wanted to do like a little recap basically, and so I decided to make this collage of a lot of pictures into a video, and I liked it and I was like, oh, let me post it on my YouTube. And so from then on I was just very inspired and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really want to start making YouTube videos. After doing that I was like, okay, I want to make more videos, but obviously I am in college, you know, pinching pennies. I cannot always travel and make travel vlogs. So I decided to just go more into what am I doing really in my life that might be appealing to YouTube, where people might be interested. So at that time I was doing my makeup, I was doing my hair. If I, you know, I did a video on Astro World, my experience going to Astro World, just anything like that basically that I can vlog. I was interested in doing that and I wanted to take it on and do it more frequently. So I had told myself, I was like, okay, I'm going to post a video once a week. Well, the same year that I started my YouTube, I decided to take 18 hours. I was going into my senior year. I had changed my major going into my junior year, so I had just been on this fast track to try to hurry up and graduate so I wouldn't have to take out loans basically, because in Louisiana, if you're a Louisiana resident and you go to an in-state public college, you get tuition assistance basically. It's called TOPS, but they basically give you money to go to college in state because the goal is to keep you in Louisiana. So I didn't have to pull out loans during my undergrad and I wanted to keep that so I can graduate debt free. So in my head I was just trying to hurry up and graduate before 2020. So I was taking summer classes and I was going into my senior year, and in my head I was like, okay, if I take 18 hours this fall semester, then I will graduate on time. Like I will push it. Well, that semester I was also taking intermediate accounting 1. I think I ever shared this, but I was a finance major. So long story short, I just put too much on my plate. You know, intermediate accounting 1 it was very challenging for me, I would say. I was interning, also working 25 hours a week, and also just trying to have a balance of college life also. I just put too much on my plate. My grades started to plateau around midterm season, and so I just put YouTube on the back burner because at the end of the day the goal was to graduate. Also I got into a relationship around that time, so it was just too much going on. So fast forward, the pandemic happens in 2020 and all my classes went online. I did fail intermediate accounting, so I had to retake that over again. So in my head the game plan was always just school, prioritizing school first. But when the pandemic happened, I felt a little bit more inspired. I actually have a video that I did not post. I recorded it and I never got a chance to edit it, but I did edit it last year, so I will post it. I was contemplating this past year if I wanted to post it or not because the video was so old, but I'm just gonna post it anyway because it really would go with my niche basically. Back to topic. So the pandemic hits and the goal, since I had to retake intermediate accounting, I was just very focused on, okay, like I'm not going to be able to graduate this semester, this spring semester, so the goal is to just get this intermediate accounting out the way so I can take summer classes in the summer and then graduate that following fall. So I would still graduate in 2020. It would just be basically an extra semester. I just was taking one piece at a time where I was just focusing on my courses. And the pandemic happens and everything switches online. I was just like, okay, like I definitely have more free time now. My internship told me that since I was getting paid out of their trust that I could not come back to work until they notified me basically. So I wasn't technically fired, but I just couldn't come to work right now. I ended up being almost a good 5 months, and I will say I did enjoy it. I did. I think that was well needed. Looking back on the pandemic, I know it was a difficult time for a lot of people. Some people lost close ones. I will not take away from that, but from my personal experience, I did benefit off of the pandemic. I had more of my time to myself, and I didn't want to spend time just laying in bed. I just didn't want to just be slugging around the house because like, oh, wake up, watch TV, texting, on social media, you know. So I wanted to have a nice structure in my life. So I began to wake up every morning at 7 a.m. and jog around the lakes. I don't even remember how big the lake was. Maybe it was like 3-4 miles, but I would do that. Basically, I would finish around 9 o'clock. I would work out when I had free time in college, so I wasn't very consistent. But with this pandemic, it just kind of reminded me of like freshman 15. I wasn't part of the freshman 15, but I just didn't want to gain weight, just, you know, sitting in the house since the world was shut down. Yeah, my dog just farted. Yes, I have a dog now. Like, so much has happened. My love for fitness started there, I would say, during the pandemic. I would wake up every morning. That would be the first thing that I would do. I was also on muscle relaxers because I was having issues with grinding my teeth, and the dentist office were closed, so my neurologist put me on muscle relaxers to help with my migraines. The muscle relaxers just made me feel very groggy waking up, so like that also benefited me as well too, because me getting up, going run around the lakes or jog, whatever, around the lakes, it woke my body up from that medication. So it was kind of a 2-in-1 combo where I was working out, keeping myself active, but also too waking myself up from my muscle relaxers. I believe I didn't record the rest of 2020. I don't believe so. I took my summer classes. I proceeded to the fall semester where I graduated. Within 2020, I want to say between like April and June, I did have a breakup with that relationship that I was in. So I was kind of taking that hard as well. Just regretting some things of like how everything did, I would say. So in 2021, once I was 100% done with school, because I had graduated December 18th of 2020 in finance, a Bachelor of Science in Finance. Okay, I decided, okay, like I'm 100% done with school. I'm going to focus on fitness now. I started working out every single day. I would do 30 minutes on the elliptical and then 30 minutes of weight training, and it will mostly be with like dumbbells, free weights basically. And I didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't know what I was doing, but I just was like, just do it. The benefits of you doing it right now will be better than you not doing it at all. Also too, I was still taking that breakup pretty bad, so I felt like that was also helping distract me from that basically. And I was a little bit intense. My internship, I did start back working at my internship that past August of 2020. Once I graduated, they offered me a temporary position because that's my baby. It's my baby Raja. I had confided in them that I wanted to go to grad school, so they didn't want to offer me a full-time position. They wanted me actually to get it out the way basically, and I think they knew that if they would offer me a full-term position that I wouldn't go back right away. So the goal for them was for me to be temporary until I start grad school, and then I would go back to an intern. Once I graduated and they offered me that temporary position, I was able to work from 24 hours to 30 hours a week, I believe. And so with that, I would just go into office for like 3.5 days, I would say. It was either 3.5 or 4.5 days, I don't remember. Yeah, like I just felt like it was a good work-life balance basically. So from there, I was just working out every single day. Like it was very intense. I low-key want to go back to doing that, but at the same time I don't, because I do work full-time now. I am in a relationship also, and I enjoy my work-life balance. And I also feel like when I say work life, it's not just like actual like job. I'm talking about content, you know, like I want to do content. I want to hang out with, you know, my significant other and my friends and my family, you know, trying to work out every single day, and also working a job, trying to have my, you know, outside social life, and doing, you know, home things like cleaning and washing my hair and washing clothes and stuff. Like, it's a lot to put on my plate. So yeah, I don't know about doing 7 days a week. It's ideal, but I don't know right now. I don't know. At time I was working out 7 days a week. I would do 30 minutes cardio, 30 minutes free weights, and that 7th day I would just do a full 60 minutes of cardio, and my cardio will always be the elliptical. And I don't know how, maybe it was because I had been jogging on the lake that previous year. I'm not 100% sure, but I was able to get 3 miles in 30 minutes, and I was so toned. I'll try to put a picture in here to show you how toned I was, but I was so toned, and to this day I am trying to get back like that. By March of 2021 I was cut. Like, you can see the definition in my abs, the muscles, my arms had definition, my back was really defined. You can tell that I worked out so much that I left my temp/internship and got a full-time job, and everyone there thought that I ran track. I had a personal trainer. I was so fit, my personal trainer asked me, why do you want a personal trainer? Like, are you about to run a marathon? Are you training for a marathon? And I was like, no, like, I just feel like I'm working out and I don't really know what I'm doing, you know. Like, I'm looking at other influencers and like, oh, okay, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you know. I just wanted more like knowledge, I would say, basically, to get the fitness goals that I wanted. That fitness training lasted just a few months. It was fun. It was fun. I don't regret that because it was fun and I met a lot of people. Yeah, I was just very fit. My friends graduated that following May, so we decided that we wanted to take a group trip together because the world started to slowly open up with the pandemic, like, you know, towards beginning of 2021. I would say, like, maybe like around March, May, I don't know. It started opening up a little bit more. So we decided that we were gonna go to Tulum. So that was also a motivation itself right there, because my whole friend group, we were just like, we just want our bodies looking banging for when we go to Tulum. Of course, you're most likely gonna be like in not that much clothes, like bikinis and stuff like that. That was also another motivation, like, you know, like just like going so hard in the gym. Once we came back in May 2021, once we came back from Tulum, I kind of just went downhill, I would say, with like my fitness. I had to move out of my apartment. You know, my lease was coming to an end and I didn't want to stay in my apartment. It was student living apartment, and since I wasn't a student anymore, I just didn't want to do it. I have memories of going to bed and, you know, just trying to prepare myself for work the next morning, and, you know, it's college kids, you know, like, they went out, they just came back home, and I could hear them, you know, upstairs, I can hear them. So I was just like, yeah, I don't want to renew my lease. So yeah, I had to pack up my whole apartment that I had been in for like 4 years, and I had started seeing someone, and so I just felt like fitness just kind of sort of took a back seat, basically. With that, on top of like getting adjusted to working full time, just really took a back seat, basically. With my person that I was seeing at the time, I was doing a lot of commuting, like hour out from where I lived. It was just a lot on my plate, basically. So it took a back seat. Unfortunately, it took a backseat. I would still work out, but it wasn't as consistent. That was that for the remaining of 2021. 2022, I got accepted into grad school to get my MBA at LSU, and I also ended it with the person that I was seeing at that time. So I would say I was just a little bit depressed, kind of, sort of, just with how that whole situation turned out. It was a lot of betrayal. That was just a lot. Like, that was just something I wasn't thinking I would experience ever. It was a lot. Once again, fitness had to take a back seat because I was in a fast track MBA program. So I did that while also working full time because my job was assisting with paying for the program. I didn't have time to work out. I didn't even have time to hang out with friends. Like, it was just work and school. I think that also helped with the small mini depression that I was in at that time, because it distracted me a lot. Because in my head I was just like, okay, like, finish school. When you finish school, you can cry all you want. Graduated in May 2023, and after that I started to get back into my fitness. I was like, I'm 100% done with school. I'm working full-time, so now I can acclimate keeping my fitness in my lifestyle. I started back working out like full-time in August of 2023. I was working out at least 5 to 6 days a week, and at that point I was trying to bulk basically, and so I started limiting my cardio, and I didn't really enjoy cardio at that time. Like, it was just a pain to want to do cardio basically. And at that time I did want to start content creating again, but the fear basically, I don't want to say it was imposter syndrome, but it just felt like you won't be successful basically doing this. So like, why are you being so delusional basically? And so that fear and subconscious mind was really eating at me basically and discouraging me from doing it. I recorded one video in my friend's apartment gym, and like, I did it very secretive, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed editing it and posting it, so I knew I liked it. But it was just the fear of like filming in front of everyone in a public gym that really discouraged me. So I didn't film. I would like do probably small snippets, you know, in a mirror or something like that, and just post it on my story. But I knew that I wanted to do that, but I was just scared. That was end of 2023. 2024, I've moved back home, and yeah, I'm back home in New Orleans, Louisiana, and you know, I am in analyst role. And I don't know, sometimes I just feel like I'm doing this just because I'm doing it. I don't really feel like it's my calling. And last year in 2025, I just got really inspired just seeing a colleague basically filming and just doing it and just seeing her success. And I was just like, okay, like, you need to put your fear aside and just do it, because if you don't, this is going to be something that you will regret years down the line, that you never took that risk. If you fail, at least you tried. That was literally what I told myself. So I just picked up my camera, and I didn't use my phone. I brought my actual camera, and I was so scared, but I just set it up and I just started filming myself. And just one person probably came up to me and was asking like what I was doing. He was just a friendly talkative person in the gym. Like, we would always speak when, you know, I was there, but other than that, no one else really, you know, acknowledged it. And so it just let me know, like, okay, like, there's a quote or a saying that you will worry less what others think if you notice how less they think of you. And it's so true. I still am scared, but last year I started it. I would edit and I would post, and I really did enjoy it. But once again, life got in the way. I moved, and I started a new relationship with my significant other that I am with currently now in 2026. We're about to make a year. But it was just a lot of change thrown at me, and I just also started getting discouraged too. Because I moved, I was moving to a new gym also, and I wasn't really comfortable with the people there, so I just felt like that fear came back. So once again, I pushed off content creation for the rest of that year. Towards the end of 2025, like, it just really started like calling out to me again, like, this isn't your purpose, you know, like, you need to go back to content creation. Like, you enjoy doing that, you really need to like start back doing this again. So I just started planning, researching, and I was focusing on TikTok and Instagram. But as time is starting to progress, you know, I was like, I need to go back to my home, which is YouTube. So I decided that, yes, like, we need to make up what's happened these past few years. Oh my god, I also have braces. It helps with my jaw and my migraines. Yeah, I'm rushing through this because my camera is about to die. But yeah, I started back content creation this year, where I've been consistently posting on TikTok and Instagram. So I decided that I needed to start back on my YouTube also, because I enjoy more longer videos. You know, like, you have to really reduce your videos for like TikTok and Instagram. Like, I tried less than a minute, between 30 seconds and a minute. I wanted something that I could do also more longer videos. So here we are today, and I'm so excited to start back this journey. And I just want to say this in advance to all my future followers and my current followers that have decided to stay with me. If you guys are still loving me, just thank you so much for your support, and thank you for this journey. Moving forward, I am changing my niche to fitness because that is my lifestyle, and I enjoy like inspiring others to just live more of a healthier lifestyle. And so I can't wait for you guys to see everything that goes on. And yeah, as always, you're my family. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.